here, x equals 20 over 50. Now 20 divided by 50, that gives us 0.4. Now that's our decimal number, and we turn the decimal into a percent. This is not our final answer. We must convert it into a percent by moving we convert this into a percent by moving the decimal place twice to the right and applying attaching a percent sign to it. So that becomes 40%. If you put everything together, you get 20 is 40% of 50. 20 is 40% of 50. Question 15 is what percent of 50? So that's 15 is what percent of 60? 15 is what percent of 60? Fifteen is what percent of 60? So it becomes 15 by x by 60, or you say 60x. But on the right side of the equation, 60 is a multiple. Once we move it to the left side of the equation, we have to divide it and put it under 15 as a division. $15 divided by 60, or x equals 15 divided by 60. 15 divided by 60 is a 0.25. This is not our final answer. That is a decimal, that's not a percent. We must convert 0.25 into a percent by moving the decimal point 2 times to the right and attaching a percent sign. Now we're going to try 25%, or excuse me, 25 is 12% of what? $25 is 12% of what? So we say 25 is 12% of what? $25 is 12% of what number? So first we're going to convert this into our decimal. Now that's going to give us, now we take it to the consideration that like I showed you before, this equals 25 and the product of each 12% by x. So we have to move this under the 25. But first we have to change the percentage into a decimal number by moving the decimal point 2 times to the left. 2 times to the left to change it into a decimal. And you remove the percentage sign. There you have 0.12 by x. Now you're going to get 25 divided by 0.12 equals x, or x equals 25 over 0.12. Now you still have a decimal number in a division. Now remember how I told you how to handle fractions that contain decimals in either the numerator or the denominator. We have to multiply both the numerator and the denominator by a number by a power of 10 such that the result will render a fraction whose numerator and denominator are each whole numbers. So we multiply both 25 and 0.12 by 100. Okay? Multiply by 100, and that gives us 2,500 over 12. Then you divide if you're performing long division. Now 25 divided by 0.12 is equal to 2,500 divided by 12. So you're going to get the same, if you do the division, both divisions correctly, you're going to get the same answer. But doing this division is easier than dividing by a decimal number. You should simply, you don't have to divide by decimal numbers. You can multiply the terms and make them into whole numbers. And the result is going to be the same for both. So 25 divided by 0.12 is equal to 208.3 with the repeating part, 208 1/3. We'll put that 208 1/3. Now that's the actual number that's what x is, remember, x equals 25 divided by 0.12. Remember, this is what x is equal to. $208 1/3, or we would say 208.3. That's what x is. So to answer the question, yeah, 25 is 12% of 208 1/3, or 208.3. Now we have, that brings us to what percent of 70 is 98? So we want to know how to convert this into an equation, and then how to deal with the equation. Now for percentages, What, so that becomes, so what percent becomes, that's our x. What percent of 70 is 98?